Hello, Thomas Potts. How you doing? And hello and welcome all. It is hopefully going to be the last installment of my Forgotten Anne playthrough. We will see. Hopefully, I'm trying to sneak in here between other people doing their live streams, and I think honestly we have just a few more minutes left in the game before I'm completely done with it. So let's go and jump in and see how on earth this game is going to end up. Let's see. So far in the story, we have found that we're playing a person named Anne who was forgotten as a baby and came to this world where everything that's forgotten comes to life. So we got scarves and suitcases and lamps and megaphones and stuff like that. And Kabah, Bird, how you doing? So we've gone through the whole game. We've been kind of doing the light side playthrough where we help people out. We're nice. We haven't turned anyone into energy because that's one of the things. We have a thing on our hand called the Arcana, and whenever we use it, we can actually rob people or these objects of their lives. And in the last game, one of the last things we did was we restored someone to life just for them to turn around and kill one of the other objects, one of the other Forgottenlings, which was a bit of an oops moment. But we've gotten right up to, I think, the final door. We're going to confront our father figure who he willed himself into this world, basically, and then took over things. So let us continue Forgotten Anne and see how much time I actually have left in it. Hey, Joseph, how you doing? Can I please give you an elevator pitch what this game is all about? Sure, this game is it's a platform puzzler type game. It's a bit of a walking simulator where you kind of go from plot point to plot point without too much in between, but at the same time they throw in a lot of platforming, or not a lot, they throw in just enough platforming and just enough puzzle elements to make it a really fun and engaging game. And also, their humor in this game is so spot on for the kind of humor I like. And I wish I could give you an example right now, but if you look through one of the other streams I've done, there are just moments where this game had me in stitches because of how funny it is. So let's see if I can't remember the stuff to do to make things go. Or even what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh gosh. It's been too long, guys. Let's see if I turn on this, maybe I can get some life flowing. There we go. But I'm pretty sure we're about to confront the father figure.
This was my home.
Where's Bonku?
Ooh, whose name was Bonku.
He'll be at the atrium at the very top, with his ether bridge.
And the ether bridge was the device that he was going to use to get all the way back to the real world, which they call the ether.
Pretty photo.
I'd stand on that balcony every night, close my eyes, and feel the rain on my face. I had no idea Bonku took this photo. It's from the day I moved out. You know, he got me a bike for my birthday once.
Was it a sentient bike?
Horrible old thing he found who knows where. But I loved that bike. First time I rode it was in here. I knocked over a desk and 2 lamps.
Did they die? That's one of the things this game is really nebulous about. It's like everything that comes here is forgotten and it's sentient. But at the same time, it's like, oh, but we have all these books and stuff, so don't worry about it. And like, what are the rules in this universe? At what point does something go from being an inanimate like the desk I just walked by, to being a legit, like, living thing? Let's see if I can't still get through here. No. Okay. I was hoping I could get my energy back and still sneak through the door, but nope, I'm not that quick. Let's see here. I apologize if you might be picking up the sounds of my my sons playing oh so sweetly in the background as they scream at each other. And Joseph is saying, I had no idea that Dimcock can sing. Not his biggest fan, watch his videos but rarely his streams. You know, I missed the singing part. I think I was on there for about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes before I jumped over to do something. Probably probably put the kids... No, it was after I got the kids to get fed. I forget what I jumped out to do. But I missed the scene, is the point.
Fig, what if he won't listen to me?
Take a look at this place, Anne. You're his whole life. You just need to remind him.
I kind of feel like he's not going to listen to me. Like, they're really trying to make it sound like he absolutely is going to listen, but I feel like he's not going to listen to me the more they tell me he'll do it. Let's see what this memento is. Good morning, Anne. Happy 10th birthday. I have done my best to plan a wonderful day for you. I hope you will like it. First things first, breakfast is ready in the living room, where I also have your first present ready. Love, Bonku. Oh, how sweet. And I'm gonna... Let's see. There we go. So assuming I get done with this game here in just a second, I do have another game in mind. I'll see what you guys think about doing it. So I actually have a couple different options of things we could do. One of them might be a bit of an oddball, but I like it.
Bonku went in here when he wanted to think and be alone. All these stories from the ether gathered in the same room. This must be the closest thing to the human world you can get without actually being there.
Why didn't he let you in here?
You told me.
And that's right, Joseph. The mannequin guy named Fig is talking out of his chest, which was just a hilarious reveal to me. They went that way. It's a book titled Don Quixote. There's something written on a bookmark. A nobleman convinces himself that he is a knight. Wonder if that's supposed to be kind of a... Like, that's what Bonku is. He's basically Don Quixote tilting at windmills. Convinced himself that he is in the right. Let's see. The title reads, A Dollhouse. A note inside reads, a young woman realizes the condescending shackles of her relationship and has to decide whether to stay or leave. Okay, yeah. That's definitely no more wondering there. Don Quixote is Bonku, and we are the Dollhouse character. And Joseph saying, nothing to apologize for. Mom loved it. Doomcock is a one-man talent show. His Friday night streams, he sings. Oh, he does impressions, jokes, talks about sci-fi. Obviously, it's a variety show. That's pretty cool. I do not have a very good ability to do impersonations. I love Anti-Trucker's Marvin the Martian. That's a great one. Let's see. Here's a book called Siddhartha. There's a handwritten note inside. A young upper-class man finds inner peace by rejecting desire. That must be Fig's. So I kind of wonder how much they're pulling back the curtain right now. I mean, you never should look too far behind the curtain, obviously, and pay no attention to the man behind it. But I kind of wonder if they're saying, hey, we decided to combine Don Quixote with the Dollhouse, with whatever one I just read there, and the last one about a nobleman rejecting desire. That would have been Fig, I'm guessing. Let's see if this one's not bold. This book is called Frankenstein. In the margins of a dog-eared page, it reads, through curiosity and skill, a scientist creates not a dream, but a nightmare. No, that's probably still Bonku. Because the way he's powering this ether bridge is by taking the essence out of all the living sentient objects in this world. It's a book called The Prince. According to an attached note, it is about strategy regarding control of people by playing them against each other. That kind of sounds like Bulb. Oh, let's see. I need... Oh, I should have been looking at this the whole time. What do we got? Okay. I need to get back down to follow that power line. Okay, it goes down there to this red pipe to... Where are we going to go with this red pipe? Okay, just out of nowhere. Rats. There's no way to follow up the Fig. So before, there's one, The Prince by Machiavelli. You know, it doesn't say, and I've never read it. So Bird, you'll have to tell us if that doesn't sound like a apt description of The Prince by Machiavelli and his crazy plots. So there was one point where there's a big confrontation in this game, and ouch. After it, we lost our wings. Before then, we had some wings that we could use to kind of let us do these big jumps, and now we cannot. And I'm really missing it right now because I sure could use it to make a long jump here. Oh, okay. Thank you, Joseph. He's saying that Siddhartha, which I know I'm mispronouncing that horribly, but it's the name of a Buddha. Which... And I'm really glad that this game is very forgiving on taking damage. Otherwise, I would have been just so dead twice now. Okay, usually Fig reaches over to give me a hand, pulling me up. This time he's just standing there like a frog on a log. And this is what I mean by it has a certain element of puzzle aspects to it. That there is obviously an answer of how to progress further, and I'm just missing it because I'm an idiot. Oh gosh, man, that first puzzle it gave us. There was a thing we had to do on a train, and it took me just an embarrassingly long amount of time to figure out how to do this train puzzle. So that handprint thing is what I would have thought that we needed to grab in order to progress. Because so far, every time we've seen that, it's like we've been given control. I gotta drop back a little bit. There is a ladder on the far left side, Joseph. There we go. There we go. And I'm assuming that's the ladder I have to go down to get to the next area. Because when I tried to get to it, and then there's like a wall there blocking me. This book is called Faust. Someone jotted a note on the cover page. A man is seduced by a dream that destroys him. That might be an overly simplistic simplification of Faust.
This is the way to the atrium. It won't move. We have to shut down the security systems before we can go up. The door to the security room is in here somewhere.
Okay. But I should be able to move it sideways. There we go. Just stroll my way out of here. A novel titled Peter Pan. There's a scribble on the cover. A boy refuses to grow up and leave his fantasy world. You know, I've never read the book Peter Pan. I've seen a lot of the different Peter Pan-esque movies. Going way back to, gosh, before I was born. They basically took the play of Peter Pan and redid it as just a movie. Okay, that might be important later on. Maybe if I fall, I'll have to use that one. Which means I'm probably going to fall a lot here in just a minute. And then, I think my favorite version of Peter Pan so far has been Hook with Robin Williams.
Here we are. You can shut off all the
Thomas is saying he needs a nap. See you later, Thomas. Thanks for stopping by.
Mirrors, you name it.
Let's get to it. There's a bunch of switches. I'll take the one up there.
Oop, nope. I want to grab the switch. There we go. Faust, yeah, Contract with the Devil. I read all the works of John Wolfgang Goethe, but I studied German on the university, so it was a must. Oh, that's cool. Was it actually a good read? Because I I know enough about Faust to know the general outline of it, but not enough to actually know like anything truly significant about it. I'm assuming once I move all these devices around, all these switches, I'll find a security door, or I don't know. That's kind of my motif in games like this. If a switch is up, move it down until something starts happening that you want to happen. Hey, Trek95, thanks for stopping by. How you been doing today?
That'll clear the way for Bulb to blow the wall.
Let's hope we won't need him.
Oh yeah, we're working with Bulb to sneak in here. Did Bulb immediately blow the wall? There was a hilarious part in this game where you have to disguise yourself, and you basically get into a cardboard box and call it a day. And you completely fool the character whose name is Bulb, who is a giant light bulb. And you're just giving him all this false information, and he buys it hook, line, and sinker. And so we decided that, oh, they can jump through this, but I can't? That's sexist. You decide to come clean, and you're like, well, I was your informant. You can't trust anything I said. He's just like completely flabbergasted.
Did that thing just move on its own?
I think so.
And Joseph is saying, no, Faust was not an easy read, especially Goethe worked on it his whole life and had multiple books on the same topic. Tolkien is compared to it as a comic. Wow.
Tick-tock, little man. Tick-tock, what's your plan?
Anne, I'm trapped!
Hang on, Fig. I'm on my way.
Well, little Anne. Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Huh.
So far on your decline. No reason to be sad. It happens, it happens.
We need to talk to Banku. Let us go.
Why should we? Nothing matters. Tick-tock.
Yeah, so on Earth, Banku was like a master clockmaker, and he got really upset
It
when
all leads to
no one wanted complex, intricate clocks anymore. And that's how he ended up coming to this world.
purpose.
So I guess he created a giant sentient clock tower type thing once he came over here.
With the Arca, and this world will crystallize.
That's why we have to stop him.
What happens, happens. Tick-tock. Find your peace.
You think you can keep me trapped?
And that's whenever a Forgottenling stays in this world too long,
Little Anne
they crystallize, which is their form of dying.
leads nowhere.
Which is why Banku's like, well, it doesn't matter if we kill them all now. They're going to crystallize anyway.
Wake up, little Anne. Wake up.
What? What did you just say? Tink, is it you?
You know that monster?
It's not a monster. She used to be my alarm clock.
That thing?
She was smaller back then. Oh, Tink, what has he done to you?
I am his masterpiece. From his work desk, I have seen him unlock the potential gentleman, tick-tock, and tame the Arca. I witnessed him overcoming the laws of crystallization.
Yeah, by giving us the Arca, it's prevented us from dying and turning into
I
crystals.
have evolved.
Which they've been really loose and goose on how long you are in an area before you crystallize. But apparently, if we ever took the Arca off our hand, we'd instantly crystallize, basically, at this point.
I grew and grew. Today, I am the very tower all around you.
One morning, you were just gone. I thought you crystallized. I cried for you.
I mean, that's sad, but it's kind of like, oh no, my clock is gone.
I am his final shield.
I'm not his enemy. I'm his family.
I've watched you grow up. I am one with the tower.
Yosef is saying, Siler from Heroes was a watchmaker and a psycho. Seems like it runs with the profession. I always wanted, like, I feel like Saturday Night Live missed out by not making a joke with Siler being Spock.
No, you Anne.
You know, he would have been like watching. Oh, here's an option. Okay, so the way this works is for everyone in the chat, you can either say you don't know me, or just like type in 1, and that'll be you don't know me, or you can say what have you become, or type in 2, and that'll be choosing what have you become. So how are we going to respond to her? Are we going to claim that TikTok, our old clock, doesn't know us, or are we going to ask her what has she become? Which I hope she's a she, because otherwise that's just kind of creepy having a guy sit next to your little granddaughter her whole life while she sleeps, watching, ticking, and talking. Watchmakers are apparently psycho. But yeah, I thought it was a real missed opportunity in Saturday Night Live that they didn't have, like, Siler as Spock on the bridge. He watched Uhura makes a hail or something. He's like, the ability to handle communications, that's an interesting ability. And like slowly he kills off the whole bridge crew and takes over their abilities to like be an engineer or communicator or the captain. And unfortunately I set the stream up quickly, and so I usually have the latency set to very low so that it's just a couple seconds between you guys typing in something and me seeing it. But unfortunately, it's at normal, so it's like a 20-second delay for some reason. But anyway, we got a vote for 2. I'll give y'all just one more second to respond before I'm going to go ahead and choose that. Okay, what have you become, little TikTok clock?
What have you become, Tink?
I am connected to the Master. I cannot crystallize. Once the bridge opens, I am set free.
No! We can't let him do it! I have to talk to him!
Tick-tock, why can't? Everything you do leads to neglect. You are young and not aware of this. Time and tide wait for no one. Tick-tock. Useless. No need to try, little. Tick-tock.
Let's see, can I just absorb this thing? Whoops. Okay, we're gonna do a shell game with me as the shell.
Wiggle your hand.
Oops. That may not have been what I wanted to do.
And you can do it. Get out.
Yep. Thank you. That's what I'm going for. Yoink. Not what I meant to do. Oh gosh. This thing is drunk. Just jump, Anne. Let's see. How do I control this thing or take over? Oh, well, thank you for helping me defeat you. I always appreciate when my villains do that. Let's see. Joseph is saying, Bird, Erica would slam you for that. She really hates indecisiveness. I am not familiar with Erica. Whoopsies. Yeah, give me a lift up. There we go. I think I want to head over to the left. I saw a platform over there I can use. Okay, now I'm getting the hang of this. I thought I had to jump up to climb over. It was really messing up everything I was doing. Whoops. But no, I push the up button and she'll climb up and over. There we go. That is what I want right there. Can I make it? for it. There we go. Now I can do stuff. What can I
Do
do?
you really think you can change anything? Do you think you know what is right and wrong?
Nothing is black or white.
There is only
Except things that are black and white.
only more darkness.
Well, isn't she a ray of sunshine?
You encourage them to betray you again.
So, do y'all guys notice? I'm kind of talking over it a little bit too much. But have you noticed that it sounds like Anne's voice is talking at the same time that TikTok clock is talking? So we're going to say 1, never give up on anyone. Or 2, right, don't trust anyone. But I swear I can hear Anne's voice talking just underneath TikTok's. So I wonder if this is going to turn out where, like, TikTok is just a manifestation of Anne's own fears or something like that. And Bert is saying, Kuroga reserves its right to change its mind. That's right, we as a nation get to change our mind whenever we want to. That actually does crack me up a little bit when, like, in real life, whenever some politician or something years down the road says something other than what they said years before, and everyone throws up a big fuss about, oh, they changed their mind. I'm like, yeah, that might be a good thing. Like, I'm not going to say it's always a good thing, but the ability for someone to change their mind is kind of a good thing as you grow and learn. Okay, we got 2 votes for 2 and 1 for 1. Okay, we're gonna say, right, don't trust anyone.
I agree. Even the ones closest to us can let us down.
You know I'm right. The truth hurts.
Okay, we say 1, the truth always triumphs, or 2, we need shelter from the truth. And Bird is calling me a flip-flopper. Flip-flopper! You know, I don't want a leader that believes himself to be infallible. I have no problem with and even kind of appreciate a leader who can come out and say, hey, you know what, this choice I made, well, I mean, yesterday, even if it comes down to it, but like a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever, it was a wrong choice. And just fess up to it. Like that to me is a better leader than one who is never ever wrong. Okay, we got votes for 1. The truth always triumphs. Yes, the truth shall set you free.
But I'm done lying.
Anne, could you stop the jabbering and help me?
Of course. Hang on, I'm on my way.
Oh, Fig is the best. Let's see, how do I... It's acting like I have something here, but... What can I do with him? Oh, here we go.
What do you think you're doing? Tick-tock.
I think... I'm not accomplishing much, that's what. Let's see, I can move him up. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hey Fig, maybe you could jump out right now? That'd be super helpful. I mean, I know you're doing the whole damsel in distress thing right now, but a little help, Fig? Yeah? See? You like that? No? Let's see. I can't move him left or right. I can only move these 2 circles. Anything? Dude, Fig. Let's not be blind to what's going on. What? Kronos is saying, cool. Oh, I see. Joseph is saying, I just realized in our company, the absence tracking tool is called Kronos. Kronos saying, cool, a software named after me. Joseph responds, it's also a tool. Okay, this is just annoying. Okay, yep. There we go.
Well done, Anne.
Oh, there we go. Sheesh.
Quick, grab my hand.
All the conditions had to be perfect for that loser. Oops.
Quick, grab my hand.
There we go. Where are we going here? Not that way. Okay. Nice. Let's go teamwork.
Thank you. Now, would you please take care of your friend? That thing is making me nervous.
Take care of me. You see, Anne? Everybody's looking out for themselves.
Well, he's kind of looking out for me.
Distill me?
Okay, so are we going to distill TikTok, or are we going to say, no, there must be another way? And distilling is where we rob them of their energy and we kill them. It gives us energy for our Arca, but it also kills them. So 1, yes, I have to speak to Banku, or 2, no, there must be some other way. And Kronos is saying, wow, just wow to being called a tool. Yosef saying, sorry, don't be sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, when your avatar is literally the robot from a black hole, you're a bit of a tool, right? I mean, not like that kind of tool, but like a literal wrench type thing. Bird, kill it, do it. Yosef is also voting that we distill TikTok clock. And so's Trek. Okay, yeah, we gotta speak to Banku. So long and farewell. Off we to sing goodnight.
I don't want to. But I will distill you if I have to.
To whom am I speaking now? Are you Anne the rebel? Or are you the Anne I used to know?
Oh no, that's a loaded question. Okay, 1 is I'm the Anne you knew, or 2, I'm Anne the rebel. I feel like it's a loaded question because a lot of this game has been presenting the idea that Anne is this really like horrible enforcer person who has, at least in the past, distilled all these people. So even if even now, it's like, okay, she never has done anything during this game, is one of the dialogues they talk about. But if it's like the Anne you knew, am I saying, oh, I'm the Anne you knew, I'll distill you in a heartbeat and not even weep about it? Or is it like a plea of like, hey, no, I'm still the Anne you knew, I'm still your friend? Or is that what the I'm Anne the rebel would be like? No, I've rejected the enforcer part of me, and now I'm here to help the Forgottenlings. And Kronos, yes, this is an adventure puzzle type game. Oh, hey, Sci-Fi. Glad to see you around. It came out last year or something, maybe the year before, but I got it on a good Steam deal this a couple months ago now, I think, maybe just a month ago. But it's kind of a combination between being a walking simulator and an adventure puzzle type game. Like, I've definitely played a lot more of a walking simulator game. I think I might describe Stanley's Parable as more of a walking simulator than this game is. But the Stanley Parable really disguises the walking simulator part of it with just hilarious dialogues and the illusion of choice. And Josh is saying 3, both. Well, since 3's an odd, I'm going to say that's a vote for 1. So let's see, we got... We got 2 rebels, and I'm going to say Josh is a 1, so we got a tie, 2 and 1. Unless someone else puts in a vote, I am going to use my handy dandy actual quarter, not an SD card, and not a wireless card I have lying around for some reason. No idea why I have this on my desktop. But here we go. Heads will be 1 and tails will be 2. So I need to get like a... It is... Well, I caught it and then dropped it, but it is tails. We are going with I'm and the Rebel. I need to get like a software thing so I can just click it and y'all can like see it flipping on the screen or something. That'd be more fun.
If you insist on seeing it that way, then yes, I'm with the rebels now.
And we need to get going. If she won't move, make her.
Are you hearing this? Everyone is self-serving creatures, only looking out for themselves. Tick-tock, let go of your morals and ethics. Ruin others, or you are ruined yourself.
Y'all hear that, right?
Not true,
You hear Anne's voice
And
talking
enough
underneath
talking.
it.
Let's go.
I can't. Tank and I grew up together. Please understand. Fig, the slightest change off course, and I would have ended up like her.
And she's not Tink anymore.
I need to hear what she has to say.
You will listen to me.
I need to know more. And I want to help you.
Tick-tock, tick-tock. Why?
Yeah, why? Okay. Why is another choice dialogue. Why? I want to understand you would be 1, and for those playing at home, 2 will be I have to protect myself. And yes, sorry, Bird, we went with the tails option too. In your face. Kronos, Josh is saying, you are the moth in the night, the moth that makes Kurokans fear that their cloths will disappear. Josh, that sounds a lot like something Darkwing Duck would say. Are you guys in the right age group to remember the old Darkwing Duck animation show? He'd always, appear and be like, I am the terror that flaps in the night. And then he'd go off on some specific trio of things that he was based on the enemy of the week that he was facing that week. Like exactly like that. I am the moth that makes Kurokans fear the clothes will disappear. Let's see, we got 2 votes for 1, and Cronus is saying, Josh, I'm not talking to you. You've sent the moths. Somehow, they found out I have money. Okay, 2 votes for 1, a vote for 2. And after this stream, I'm gonna find that coin flipper. And yes, Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck. He is the Disney show that to advertise him, they made like a cartoon commercial wrap where some kids in some so very 90s clothing like did hip hop dancing to the Darkwing Duck theme song. And there's another vote for 2. I want to vote for 1. You guys are making hard to keep track. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3 for 1 and 2 votes for 2. Okay. Ones are winning out here. I want to understand you, TikTok clock.
If I can understand you, then maybe...
You think you can understand yourself through me? See? When have you ever cared about anyone but yourself?
Wow, they're giving us a lot of choices right now. Okay, 1, I help those in need, or 2, I haven't been exemplary. I know, I like to think I have helped those in need in this game at least. I've been quite exemplary. There was that one guy that we tricked pretty hard. I'm not talking about Bulb. Toward the beginning of the game, we got off of that train puzzle, which took forever. And then we were interrogating some guy, and we managed to like convince him to tell us where Fig was hiding. And then we like rubbed it in his face like, ha! I got you to spill the beans, and you're a traitor, and I'm gonna tell Fig it was you who betrayed him whenever I find him. And let's see, Joseph is saying, Kronos, my friend, my rich friend, how are you? and Kronos saying, Joseph, calling me a tool and a friend in the same stream. So you want some money? I mean, as long as we're offering to hand out money, yeah, sure. And see, on Anti's Trucker stream the other day, he was talking about wanting to go to conventions and stuff, but needs to grow the channel more. I'm willing to admit I'm a complete sellout. Anyone who wants to pay for me to show up to convention, I'll gladly take that plane ticket and show up there. It'll be difficult, but for you, I'll do it. And Joseph's saying, I would never ask. Let me guess, but as long as you're offering... Let's see, we got 2 votes for 1. Okay, I help those in need.
I've always helped those in need.
Isn't it true? You only care about others when they're of use to you.
Okay, do we only care about others when they're of use to us? 1 yes, 2 no. Have we been playing that in the game? Have we been playing that we only help those when they're of use to us? You know, honestly, I'd like to think that at this point, the way we've been playing the game is helping the most people that we can. Like, literally, we brought back someone who had been drained of their energy just because we wanted to de-escalate a situation, only for them to... I mean, it backfired horribly on us, but we're at least trying. See, Kronos is saying, well, see, here's the thing. I had money. Today is different than yesterday. And Sci-Fi is saying, a tool has lots of money? Kronos is an ATM? And yes, Joseph, I sometimes am a mind reader. I can pick up on patterns that are going down. Okay, we got votes for no. No, I help people.
That's not true. I'm not like that.
Such naive honesty. I told you. I know how you think and feel.
Oh, neat. They're going to give us a slideshow of the game.
Every time you've stood by a mirror, I've seen you. I've heard you. Lend me your eyes, Tick-Tock. Look at this.
All right.
Let's try to match your words with your actions, shall we?
I kind of like this.
Remember what you just said?
I agree. Even the ones closest to us can let us down.
Your words and actions don't add up. Who are you, Anne?
Yeah, we won. Now get rid of the shoe.
Calm down. You got what you wanted.
I'm reporting this to Master Bonku.
Like-
You just told me moments before.
I don't want to. But I will this
Like, I kind of like this concept of, toward the end of the game, they evaluate everything you... Like, they have a conversation like this, and then evaluate if you're being consistent throughout your playthrough, or if you're trying to justify your actions retroactively.
Yeah, the entrance is in there. Here, take this ticket.
This was the guy I was telling you about. He's the one we totally betrayed.
That's not fair. I'm not like that. I've changed, haven't you noticed? Perhaps you conveniently overlooked that.
I noticed change, yes. But some stains are too big. Tick-tock, too hard to overlook. You say one thing and do another. You never take a stand. You are hollow. I cannot let you through to the master. Tick-tock, tear me apart. If that is what you wish. Go ahead. Why should I have differently?
I literally didn't tear that guy apart. Let's see if we can't scooch on past this. Let's see. Okay. I was thinking maybe it would let us, like, disengage, but no, we have to do this. Is the music coming in a little loud right now? I'll turn that down just a little bit on my end. Let's see. Nope. And so, I'm not sure if there's like a sequence that we have to do to get this right. But it is not... Like the bottom one, I just push down and it pulled out. That does it. But all these are... As soon as I let go, they're falling back in. Do I have to rotate it or? No? I see, and like there, all of a sudden that right hand side just hold still. No problem. I feel like there's something I'm missing here, but I'm not sure what it is. I swear. Probably something really obvious too. Come on now. I literally have no idea what's causing it to stay up or not stay up. Let's see, while I'm trying to do that, let's see, did I miss something? Someone's getting married? See, Josh is saying, Kronos isn't as rich as its armies of moths are rich. They steal everything, even the kitchen sink. And then Yosef saying, Kronos got married today because that happened to me. Oh, congratulations, Yosef. Kronos saying, would it be alright to get into a fight with Bird about how Jake is my least favorite DS9 character on your stream? Yeah, sure, go for it. Well, least favorite DS9 character, it's easier usually for me to pick out my favorite character than a least favorite character. But why is Jake your least favorite DS9 character there, Kronos? I mean, honestly, he kind of has some character development throughout the series, but he's definitely not the most character development. They kind of didn't know what to do with him, and then he got past being the awkward boy, and they're like, okay, I guess we'll turn him into a journalist or something. Dang it. This thing. Oh, I see. Joseph's saying, I mean, after I got married, money went away. And Kronos saying, Joseph's news to me, I haven't even had alcohol today. Okay, I'm going crazy here. Clearly going crazy. Nothing's working. Sci-fi, I'm probably not streaming later tonight, my friends. Woke up at 5:30 a.m. Sicker than I care. Put in words. Ooh, sorry to hear that, Sci-fi. And we're asking if Sci-fi has a cold. Oh, come on. I had that one out. Can I just distill this thing already? Okay, seriously, what am I missing? Well, congratulations me, I made it back to the beginning of this puzzle. Y'all see, maybe I'm supposed to like follow the animation type things on it? Maybe so. What I mean is like, on the left-hand side, it kind of goes out and then swoops down. I'm thinking maybe I have to follow that animation. So if I push out on this one, and then up a little bit, and then right. Will it hold? It is not holding. Okay, well, let's just work with what we're given so far. Ooh, that made a good noise. Nice clicking into place kind of noise. You know what? Oh, there we go with that one. Let's see, what am I missing on this one? This is the last piece. Everything else, unless this one's just accidentally in place, yeah. I have no idea why this is all of a sudden working. Literally making no sense. Can I not? Okay, now it's too top. Okay, well, whatever. We're just gonna finish her off. It doesn't seem like it's gonna give us any sort of option here. Maybe if we finish her off, we can give her her life right back.
Good night, Anne.
Well, that was weird. And Sci-Fi is saying I was cold with chills, sweaty, using... Whoop.
Thought it was the forest book.
Oh, stomach bug. Man, I am sorry to hear that.
Didn't want to do this.
I'm sorry, Anne. There was no other way. Come on. We need to move on.
Let's see. And looks like they are deliberately making it so we can't get back there. Okay, well, we'll move along. And Sci-Fi says, yeah, flu or strep throat. That's how little Sci-Fi was a couple days ago. Doc said that's what he has. Oh, sorry to hear little Sci-Fi was under the weather. It's never fun when kids are sick. And Sci-Fi is saying, I never had strep before, but sure felt like a Turtistani flu bug to me. And yeah, we do hope you get feeling better soon here, Sci-Fi.
Look, no matter what happens up there, I'll always be your friend.
I will always be yours.
See you around, Anne.
Oh. Huh. Okay, we're going solo. And yes, the Turistanians are using biological weapons. It's all Anti's fault. Hell, Kuroga. You think Jake was a brat? You know, he kind of was at the very beginning, at the very least. And then he kind of became...
I can do this alone.
Was he really bratty, or was he just kind of pretentious? Kind of like
You
self-righteous,
never had to.
which... Okay, yeah, a lot of Star Trek characters kind of get self-righteous at points. And yeah, Yosef, kids are walking germ factories. Oh gosh, in April my little niece sneezed on me and I was almost 2 weeks out. That stinks. And Grown is saying, the grinding of the gears reminds me of when I think, just with more Snoke. Yeah, I'm not sure it's Sci-Fi. He's saying I think the left one was engaged fully. I don't think any of them were getting engaged fully. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure if I had to stop it at a certain point or what. Like, I'll look in the walkthrough later to see some obvious, like, oh, you just had to do this one thing and it would have worked. But it was weird. And Kronos saying, you think Jay got more as a brat when he got older? Okay. So what are my options here? What is this?
This is it. The Ether Bridge. This is what Bonku's been working on all these years.
So that's the Ether Bridge. And this is...
What's that?
That must be the cornerstone. Banku carved the Arca out of it. The caretaker spirit told me that Banku stole it.
It seems to power the ether bridge.
Alright. And here comes Banku.
Banku, give it
I
up.
bet he's bonkers.
Fig, let me do the talking.
Because that works so well with the TikTok lock.
Stop it! Please stop!
Oh, so long, Fig.
I'm okay, Anne.
You finally came. And you brought company. I thought you had the decency to come alone. You want my Arca, don't you? That's why you left me.
I never left you. I'm here to beg you to stop the war against the Forgotlings. To shut down
Where's
the
Fig going?
This is not war. It's the finish line. You expect me to throw everything away? Now?
We could start over. Forget all this fighting and distilling. We could find each other again.
We don't belong here. This is a land of forgotten things. Look around you.
We're forgotten too. I've accepted that. It's time you did the same.
What about your mother, Anne?
There should be a lot more people
Don't you want to see her?
if they can be forgotten and come here. It seems like there should be a lot more people.
And find the answers together. You and I.
You can't force people to remember you.
With you and your Arca here, we just need to turn on the ether bridge and walk through it. That is all. Nothing more. This is what we've always wanted.
It's what you've always wanted. Please don't turn it on.
We cannot stop now, Anne.
Banku, please don't turn it on. Think about the Forgotlings. They're just like you and me.
No
Are they
need to
though?
worry, Anne.
Are the
We
Forgotlings like people?
In a matter of minutes, our new life begins.
Do I control again? I do. Let's see what I stop this. Let's see. Looks like I might be able to fight him. It's not really stopping him here though.
It works. The time has finally come.
Banku, if you do this, the world will end. The caretaker told me.
Huh? So you have finally met the witch. Anne, wake up.
I guess he was pushing his palm a lot harder onto it to be able to overcome me.
The real world is up there. The oceans, the forests, everything you have always wanted to see. Will you give all that up for silly cartoon characters? Our own kin awaits us.
I feel like he's not
We
wrong.
can finally go home. You and I.
Would you leave without me?
And I... You! How did you get through the...
This has gone on long enough. Give me your Arca.
No, wait!
Stay back. Come any closer, I will distill you.
I don't care anymore.
Stand back. Get away.
Oh no, it's that bold guy who tried to kill us. He did capture us in just the most hilarious way possible. Like it was really hilarious when we got captured by him.
Go. Get the Arca.
Okay, we got the Arca.
Anne, you rejoined the Arca stones. I can feel my old strength once again. No one can hold back the combined power of the ether bridge and the cornerstone now. The time has come for you to make a choice. You can go with Banku and leave this land behind.
Okay.
It will undo
Or-
everything you have come to know about this place and everyone here. Or you can return the Arca to the cornerstone, returning our land to the way it was before your arrival. and you will crystallize.
Ooh. Okay, guys. I think this is going to be quite possibly the last choice of the game. We can either, one, go to the Ether Bridge, and Bonku and I will go out to the real world, and everyone here will die and crystallize. Or two, we can walk over to the Ether Stone, or the Cornerstone on the right-hand side, and that will kill ourselves, but it will save all the people in this world, and this world will continue existing. So let's see. Let me catch on chat while you guys are saying, one, we go to the bridge and sacrifice the world, or two, we go to the Cornerstone and sacrifice ourselves. Let's see. And Kremer's saying, I think Jake became more of a brat as he got older, and Trek agrees with that. I don't know. I mean, he definitely became a lot more pretentious. Like Jake Sisko, really, once he became a journalist and decided that the Federation was kind of evil, or at least neutral, he did certainly become pretentious. And Yosef is saying, the grinding, it's 11:24 p.m. here, and only 20 minutes ago, finished the report. Excel is a friend, but can also be a jerk. And yes, Sci-Fi, Jake was a true millennial. I agree with that. And it's funny, he was a millennial before we even had like a concept of what a millennial was going to be like. And yes, Trek, I agree. Wes was definitely a better character than Jake was. I still feel like Wesley got a lot of shade cast on him. I've gotten into the part, I think season 3 or 4 is where I'm at right now in TNG. And Wesley is starting to become a little bit more grinding as he's kind of starting to buck the... They just made him an acting ensign, and now he's suddenly starting to argue nonstop with the commanding officers. And it's like, you're an ensign. You should have more respect now that you are an ensign than you did when you were just like a kid on the bridge because your mommy and Picard were kind of interested in each other. Which is funny that Picard and Beverly had more of a romance than Will and Troy ever did. And yes, Joseph, there we go. He says, I found Jake cool. He was only annoying as a world war journalist. Yeah, that's when I found him the most pretentious. It's almost like they tried to do the Robin Williams Good Morning Vietnam thing with Jake. And Kronos, I can't wait for Bird Prey 5's next DS9 Wednesdays. I love DS9 Wednesdays. They are the best. I agree, Bird. DS9 Wednesdays are the best. But Kronos, is the next episode of DS9 one that you're particularly interested in? Is that why you're looking forward to it? Or is just you really like DS9 Wednesdays? Because, yes, I agree with both those reasons. And yeah, that does look like a Stargate. You're right, Kronos. And why wouldn't you like Dear Bops? They're perfect. In fact, Bird, I need to get you on. Let's do some Dear Bops right now. Here we go. And Trek is saying, all Jake did was stop the prophets because he was selfish and wanted daddy. Oh, the prophets, P-H-E-T. The wormhole aliens. And Joseph, yes, Chevron 7, locked. And then you gotta get the whirlpool animation coming out. And man, we used to have some really cool CG graphics back when they were brand new. Okay, Trek. The episode where Jake pulled his dad through time was one of my favorite DS9 episodes. Like that was actually a really cool concept, and I felt like they did a great way of seeing it from Commander Sisko's point of view, Ben Sisko. In Sci-Fi, hey, that's a Star Wannabe Wars ripoff. No, Stargate isn't a Star Wars ripoff. And Yosef, you skipped the daddy episode. Oh. Cronus is saying, Jake had some involvement in the Mirror Universe. Trouble is, he had nothing to do with the actual one. I forget what he did in the Mirror Universe. It's been too long. In fact, I have been deliberately not watching DS9 ahead of Bird. I know it's going to take like 7 years if we do it once a week. But I've been having so much fun, and I don't want to ruin the experience of watching it through with y'all at the same time. So I've deliberately been holding myself back and watching through TNG. And once I get done with TNG, I'll go to Voyager and then jump back to TOS again, which I did TOS before all this. I love TOS. And we got votes for one. We got two twos, huh? What kind of people are you trying to save? Turds or Kurogans? The Forgottenlings, Cronus. We're trying to save the Forgottenlings. Which, yes, they are definitely Kurogans. And sci-fi is saying self-sacrifice is the greatest honor one can achieve. And your reward is death. Yep, it will be death in this case. Okay, so we're gonna go sacrifice ourselves. That's one that has the most funds. Yep, we are ready. Let's do this. And Cronus saying, I will say this about Jake. He did send the Federation a message saying the minefield was coming down soon. I'll give him that.
Anne, you did it! You saved us. Why did you do that? You could have saved yourself.
Fig,
I have to go.
because that's how we'll win.
Wait,
Not by destroying the things we hate, but by saving the things we
Get
love.
rid of Wonka.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have showed you the plan.
Of course, if they kiss,
I
you'd
should
have to kiss
never
their
have
chest, and
contacted
that'd
you.
be
I should have
weird.
done this alone. I'm sorry.
You could never have done this alone.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Big. I'm glad I met you.
Goodbye, Anne.
So we're gonna hobble over to Daddy now. Let's see. Sci-fi saying acting ensign. He's a private that signed papers, waiting for the bus to boot camp. Yeah, kinda.
The world has abandoned this master.
Let's see. I'm gonna pause that real quick because I don't know how much of the music or the video is copyrighted. Like zero idea whatsoever. So I'm just gonna pause it here for a second. Here we continue.
Let us down.
Because Square Enix does own this game, so I mean, I'd like to think they're cool about it. Because honestly, the more like we do playthroughs of things like this, the more the word gets out there, and people might want to play their stuff. And you know, he kind of earned his place. And there we go. That is at least one ending for Forgotten Anne. We'll see if there's a cutscene in the background, but that is a sacrifice ending. And I am going to mute this real quick because whenever someone starts singing, that's I'm not even going to try there. Okay. You know, I think Wesley was a little more than that. He earned his place. He could have gone off to boot camp, but he missed the bus to save Riker. I mean, it was somewhat of a noble deal. And let's see, Cronus saying, I just can't wait to try to annoy Bird. He thinks my opinions are, I'm paraphrasing here, crap? And let's see, Bird of Prey, he was a captain by that point. Oh, you're right. Captain Ben Cisco. And yeah, no skipping episodes. You got to go in order. Especially, at least for DS9, you got to go in order. Because DS9 was the first Star Trek that actually started to become consequences started in this episode led on to the next episode. Whereas in TNG, I mean, you got a couple two-parters that were dependent on each other. But for the most part, it was, Captain Jean-Luc Picard was assimilated last week, and we resolved that this week. Well, next week, you know, he has no lasting trauma from that. I think they touched on it twice throughout the rest of TNG. And technically, I'm counting the first episode of DS9 in that. Because in the first episode of DS9, Ben was pissed off at Picard for the fact that he got assimilated, which victim blaming much. And then the lightning bolts to the hands was, oh, okay, I missed that part. Sci-fi. Hashtag no episode left behind. And Cronus is saying he likes the next DS9 episode. And it's a depressing episode. It's the one where Dax is judging a potential host for Worm and the micro universe. I don't remember that. I gotta start seeing the episode before I can really remember what happens in the episode. But usually by the time the stinger ends, I've remembered everything about the episode and know if I'm going to enjoy it or not. Usually. So Sometimes not. In memory of Mike Shavashev. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. I don't know why I even tried. And I've unlocked the bridge. Okay. The caretaker strives to treat everyone equally and peacefully. Rarely seeking to influence the world, the caretaker observes life as it unfolds. Yeah, until he like completely nuked the planet's atmosphere and everyone like split over the planet because there's no more water. Caretaker was a jerk. What was the last one? The last one, I just watched 2 of them because I missed a couple weeks ago. Oh, hold on. We're gonna hear Fig talk. I missed Shadow Play, so I just watched that one. But what was last night's episode?
Everyone came. We carried your crystal down from the tower.
Last night's
Many
episode that
still
Bird
don't
did
understand what
was something. I'm sure someone will tell me in
even
just a
think
minute.
We're still going back to the ether.
Oh, we crystallized into a little thing hugging our
I miss
our
you.
dad, father figure at
So
least.
much that my joints hurt. I guess that's the cost of remembering.
And see, Josh is saying, what was the face
It hurts that only
that
your
did the character
memory
get
is
off
with
death
us.
of the old guy? What was that
I
face?
would rather have
Did
it
the
that
character
way
get off with
than
the
to
death
never
of the
have
old
known
guy?
you.
Yes? I'm not sure,
Forever
Josh.
your friend, Fig.
And Sci-Fi Nation is saying, corporations have forgotten that word of mouth is the least expensive yet most powerful advertising tool they have. Oh, exactly. It is insane. Oh, can I play as Fig? I can play as Fig now!
Dilly, how have you been?
And here's all the characters that we chose not
What are you
to
doing here?
Oh, just reminiscing
absorb.
about old times. What have you been up to?
Helping out
No,
with
I don't want to
renovations.
chat with everyone. I want to go swashbuckling
Well,
through the
actually,
Forgotten
it's supposed
World.
to be a surprise, but I guess I can reveal it now. We're so close.
And yes, Chronos. Sometimes I choose to clean up chat messages.
We've moved all the books from the tower there.
That sounds amazing.
Hey, Adega Outlaw, how you doing? Nice to see you on my stream.
It's true. It is. Well, for me, it's more like.
Let's see.
Fig.
Oh, Tiffany, right? I'm sorry. Our last meeting really wasn't.
No need to mention that.
Let's see, and Sci-Fi Adega has a direct message for you on Twitter. Be sure to go check that out. Okay, you saw that message. Just want to make sure, because sometimes
Interesting.
I know sometimes I'll be listening, but I won't
might show up
be
one day.
reading the chat.
Please do. I'd be happy to tell you all the stories. What are you doing?
Let's see, Joseph is saying, our company has 3 huge social media centers around the world where we are following social media,
Must find the time
and we
to
are
see that
trying to
boss.
react, because actually what you said about
I have
best...
to go. I've got a
Oh, yeah,
giant
yeah.
crowd waiting for me
Like,
at Central Station.
What is it called? It's
It was nice
earned-
to see you again, Fig.
earned
You too.
advertisement, I think is what it's called. That might be a different type of thing, but basically word of mouth. And it is advertising that you absolutely cannot pay for. It is the best form of advertising you can get, because no amount of buying commercials and showing them on TV can compare to someone like me or Bird or Anti-Tracker or Cinnabon or Wesley, who sit down and play these games and let you see how much fun we're having doing it. Like, that is the absolute best way to go, hey, even though I just saw the ending, I want to make the choices. I want to be able to do stuff. I want to do the platformers. It is just the absolute best. So, there we are. That is Forgotten Anne, one ending. Now, this isn't, what's this? Storylines, exclamation point. Okay, so we can, press Q to enter the bridge. Okay, guys, let's see if this just us a shortcut right to the alternate ending. That is one of the best things I've seen in a video game in a long time. Let's see what this says. Let's see. As president of the Bonkronic R&D department, I give you the timeline bridge. The power of the chrono-calibration unit combined with my engineering genius makes it possible to travel to specific points in the past. Use the Arca panel to tune into whichever point you'd like, Cupcake. When you... sexist. When you use this bridge, you create a new temporary timeline. You can experience this timeline for as long as you like and come back and continue as often as you want. Okay, so this lets us replay the game from whichever point we want, apparently. But beware, in order to prevent timeline paradoxes between the original timeline A and the temporary timeline B, whenever you use the timeline bridge to travel to destination X, all events from A that precede X will still have happened, and a new timeline B is created. You get that, right? Signed, Thalius R. Struck. P.S. Things you carry along with you will be kept in your inventory. Why Grab needed that feature, I don't know. I don't understand what his deal is. Okay. So, let's see. Is there anything? And Kronos, no, I'm not going to ban you just for using a word. I keep telling people I work in construction. I am not going to be offended no matter what language y'all use, okay? I choose not to use that sort of language, but I'm not going to be offended if you guys use it. Like, ever. Let's see. The caretaker strives... Oh, yeah, we already read that. So is this all the little tchotchkes we found throughout the game? Are these... Looks like maybe this can keep track of like extras. Oh, here's a chest. Oh, we saw this chest at the beginning.
How's the collecting going? Let's have another
He wanted to see all the stuff we found. All our mementos.
I'm in the presence of a true collector. Very little passes unseen by you. Still, a few things have. Find them if you can.
Oh, it'd be nice if he actually told me, like, how much I had remaining. And let's see. Picard broke down about his drama to his brother. That's true, Kronos. He did. So that was one of the times that it came up. And then I think the other time it came up after that was the DS9 first episode when Cisco was mad at him. And like that's literally the only two times I remember that his being assimilated and his knowledge being used to undermine the security of the Federation, leading to thousands and thousands of death, was ever addressed. Let's see. I think the question marks are maybe things that I didn't find. I wonder if there's some sort of hint about where to find them. I don't know why they give us a couch to sit on. Insert coin. Huh. Joseph, the caretaker stranded Voyager in the Delta. Sorry, that was Janeway. Yeah, Janeway was the one who stranded everyone in the Delta Quadrant. But wasn't it? I mean, it was the right moral choice to make. Let's go to the very end. Let's see if I can real quick. Come right to the end of the game and see the other ending it gives us. Let's see. Is that the most? I'm assuming that's the most, the farthest we can go in the game. Yeah. So I'm gonna run in here real quick. We're gonna choose the other option. Joseph is saying, "Cupcake." Kirk 2009 wrote that note. And Joseph is saying, "I can swear like an average Irishman." And today I was really happy for home office, but I can keep my comments away from PG-13 just not to cause trouble. You're not gonna cause trouble. Like, guys, you can talk freely on this stream. The most I'm going to do is I might skip over a word, but you don't need to fuss about how you talk. I promise. And Kronos saying, is today PG-13 the same as it was 25 to 30 years ago? No, it is absolutely not. And yeah, Adig is saying that. No, it is so very not. There are some things I'll be watching that are PG from back in the day, where I'm like, oh my goodness, it would so not be PG anymore. And I'm not sure, was PG-13 that came out like in the 90s or something? It seems almost as if there's a gap between PG and R for a long time. And Joseph saying, was January's choice morally correct? Family first. The crew was her family, and she made them suffer. I mean, that's a good question. I don't have.
It must be the
I don't
cornerstone.
like. I haven't really thought about
Banku carved the Arca out of
whether
it.
or not she made the right
Caretakers there
moral
told me
option.
that Banku stole it.
I'm going to take my earphones out here because we've heard this all before, and I don't want to be distracted. The show presented it as if she was making a good moral choice. That she stranded them in the Delta Quadrant. Yes, it did separate them from home and family. Let's see, if she hadn't done that, what would have been the consequence? The consequence is that
Let me do the talking.
an interfering alien species would have had his interference permanently removed. Which, if you think about it, his involvement with the Okampa, yeah, he messed up the planet. But his continual interference with the Okampa was an extreme violation of the Prime Directive, which, yes, he wasn't part of the Federation, but just thinking, if I was a starship captain, and I'd say, okay, well, this alien has interfered with the natural development of a civilization, and which is a violation of the Prime Directive. To get us back to a state that is most in line with the Prime Directive, it actually would have been more beneficial for her to go back home. It certainly would have been disruptive to the Okampa to have to deal with all that, have to deal with the ramifications of, within a couple years, they would have been exposed to the Kazon. But if you think about it, not only was their development interfered with, it was actually retarded, like retrograded even. They went backwards in development, where their lifespans had become, I think they had become shorter. That's kind of implied because when Tess comes back and she's 9 years old, because she unlocked all the powers of her mind through Tuvok's tutelage, and now she's a lot older. It's almost implied that before they lost the powers of their mind, which they lost because they became so dependent on the caretaker, that they lived longer. So I'd actually argue that while they would have had a generations-long trial period, that in the long term, by disrupting the caretaker's plans, by using that energy to get back home, instead of destroying the caretaker's array, that they actually would have been better off. Like, hands down, better off.
It works. The time has finally come.
So yeah, I think she actually made not only the wrong moral choice, in that she should have been focusing on her own crew, but she also made the wrong, like, Starfleet choice. Like, all she did is encourage the continual retardation and perhaps retrogradation, I think you know what I mean, of a species in the natural development.
We can finally go home. You and I.
And Joseph is saying, or hold on, it seems like PG-13 was 80s maybe? Okay. PG-13 was made in 1984. Power of Google. Thank you, Joseph. I would have binged it. Google is evil. Cronus, I've been using DuckDuckGo. I went back to Google. I think I was using my wife's computer and she uses Google. And I was looking at it. I had tried to search for something, and it's just become a mess. Like, it is. It's just all over the, like, it doesn't show me good answers anymore. It shows advertisements, it shows images, and it's really hard to get down to just the web results. I'm not sure if it was just the one thing I was searching for, or if that's kind of the way they exist across the board these days. But I did notice that Google has become bloated, which DuckDuckGo, it doesn't track you, and it provides the same quality hits like Google does. Like, whenever you use Bing, it's just impossible to find good answers. Like, they hide the good results away, it seems like. Their search engine isn't quite as powerful, but DuckDuckGo had a really good and powerful search message, or search function. Okay, we're almost caught up, almost back to the choice. And speaking of free marketing for Adega, if you have not seen, Adega has written a book called Evolution, which has nothing to do with creationism or evolution, the evolutionary theory. And it is on Amazon. Adega, I have not gotten a chance to read it yet, but it is worth checking out. Sci-Fi Nation speaks very highly of it, and so by all means, jump over to Amazon at some point. And in fact, Sci-Fi, if you want to put a link to his Amazon page where you can see the book, give it a look. See if that's something that you'd be interested in. And Kronos, is Ask Jeeves still a thing? I don't think it is. And I want to go home.
Let's go. We can still make it home. I don't have a choice.
Oh, there's always a choice.
You always have a choice. Remember that in your new life.
Please forgive me, Vic.
I already have.
He's the mannequin. The mannequin doesn't need to forgive you. Joseph is saying Caretaker was dying anyway. He was sending stronger pulses to the planet, and not sure if the Okampa had warp, so they broke again the Prime Directive. Yeah. I think I don't think they presented their case strong enough for Janeway to have made, or Janeway's choice to have been the morally correct choice. And I know you didn't come here to advertise, man. I always come by the streams. We love hanging out with you. It's just the conversation you and Sci-Fi were having made me remember about your book. Absolutely, don't worry about it. We know that you're here just to have fun. But as long as you are here, we like mentioning you and the work you do, because we do help each other out in this community. Okay, so this is when Anne is first forgotten. That just raises more questions for me. That raises so many more questions for me. Okay, so I'm going to mute this again real quick, and then we'll get our little afterward scene. So yeah, Joseph, I think Janeway broke the Prime Directive. Now that we're talking about this, how could the show have presented us the option such that she made the right moral choice? I'm not sure about that one. That's something I'm going to have to think about. That would make a fun video, trying to figure out how the first episode of Voyager could have been fixed such that she was making the right choice. Like, by interfering and straining herself, she was upholding the Prime Directive. And at the same time, she was stopping the interference of people like the Kazon and people like Neelix in his race from interfering with the natural development of the Okampans. Yeah, Kronos, he said, I'll have to look at Duck. It's DuckDuckGo. And Sci-Fi, yeah, DuckDuckGo, Google is hiding the results just between ads. It's hard to find out what's what these days. Joseph is saying, I Googled it and it looks like a plug-in to Chrome. What, DuckDuckGo? Like basically they're just taking the Google results and then passing those answers onto your browser, like kind of being a middleman basically, which they might be. It's hard to tell. They could be using the Google API and then creating a middleman layer so that your results aren't tracked and the ads are filtered out. By making the caretaker evil, or at least threatening. Okay. Yeah, so they get there, and maybe they find out that the caretaker is actively causing the retrogradation. I gotta look up that word later, guys. Causing the backwards movement of the Ocampan's development, and that the only way to get them on the right track is to destroy the caretaker, which that would kind of make for more interesting episodes later on when they run into the caretaker species again. Like, now they have an extra level of threat. Was this just a bad egg, or was this like kind of the entire caretaker species, kind of like a malevolent Q instead of just an apathetic Q? Okay, bridge unlocked, and we should be able to unmute it at this point. Trek is saying the Kazon would have destroyed the Ocampa using whatever remained of the caretaker station. The rebel is the ideal. Let's try this sentence again. The rebel is idealistic and committed. The Force is never a solution. The rebel acts in order to further understanding. I wonder if that's a quote from somewhere. You know, that was their concern. I'm not sure if I buy their concern or not. That the Kazon would have been able to pull this off. Okay, so this is Anne's Been Forgotten. Here's Bonku in the Forgottenling area. How does he feed her? Like, there's some nutritional things about a child that he's not going to be able to provide in the world.
What's going on?
What? Okay, so by choosing to go back to the real world, we just reset everything? This is the beginning of the game again. What the heck? So when we choose to go to the bridge to return to the real world, all we do is get caught in a time loop.
Oh no.
Wow. I did not see that one coming. I did not see that one coming at all. I love it when I get caught by surprises. So many of stories share so many elements that very rarely does a movie or show catch me by surprise. Once you see a couple episodes, you can pretty much guess how an episode is going to go. To the point where my wife doesn't like watching TV or movies with me because I'm able to figure everything out so quickly. So I really, really love it whenever something catches me by surprise like that. Let's see. Kronos has to come back in just a minute. Gotta put something on the stove. And Trick is saying, I'm not saying she made the correct choice. Yeah, I know. I'm wondering how we could like really improve, make it more in line with both the Prime Directive and the and kind of looking out for the crew, which is it's almost like the Prime Directive only exists for captains to break it. If you've noticed in Trek. Like every single time they're confronted with a situation where they need to obey the Prime Directive, it's always there just for them to find a way around the Prime Directive and break it. And I dig it. Voyager is... I have a really hard time ranking my favorite Star Trek because I love the original series, DS9 and Voyager. They're like tied for first place. And then comes TNG, and then Enterprise would be how I rank things. And honestly, the first place, it kind of depends on the day, which one I rank first. If push came to absolute shove, I'd probably go DS9, Voyager, TOS, TNG, and then Enterprise in terms of how I would rank Star Trek shows. So I love Voyager. It's one of my favorite. It is, each Star Trek brings something different to the table, and Voyager is the action-packed Star Trek. They throw in some techno babble. It's not something you can look closely at or else it will break, but it's just kind of there to be fun, and it knows it's there to be fun, and they have a fun time with it. So I really do like Voyager a lot. And yeah, Yosef it's only nerd talk. Yeah. So whenever I do enjoy something, I enjoy improving it. So one of the things I like to do on this channel is I talk about the moment something lost me, where I was enjoying it, and then like some line happens. Like in The Last Jedi, Admiral Holdo or Vice Admiral Holdo, depending on which time they're talking to her, because they could never keep it straight. She makes the statement that she likes Poe, and I hate that line so much. I just hate it so much. And so I did a video about how that line really was the absolute last straw in The Last Jedi for me. And then I talk about how I could fix it. Like, if I was going to fix The Last Jedi for this one specific point, here's how I would have done things to improve it. So it's just nerd talk. It's just things. We like it, and so we try to improve it. And you know what, guys? It is just past 5 o'clock here. It took a little bit longer than I meant for it to get to the end, mainly because I was just having so much fun chatting with you guys. So I do need to wrap it up, because I got a couple kiddos who I love getting to hang out with from about 5 to 7:30 when they go to bed. So I am going to wrap this up. Guys, thanks again for hanging out with me. I might do a second live stream later on, depending on who's around later. Like if anyone's streaming tonight, I think Anti will stream tonight. But if he's not, I'm going to come on and talk about the next game I want to do, because there's two different games I have in mind. I'm going to show you one of them, which all you are probably familiar with. Not really much in the way of what you can do for choosing along with me. And then we'll talk about the second one. But regardless, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And until the next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.